Hello YouTube and welcome back to the GonzoEwok channel. My name is Ewok.
And my name is Gonzo.
And we're going to be playing a little bit more of Binding of Isaac, Wrath of the Lamb. Today it's my turn.
And we're coming straight off the back of the previous episode that you hopefully would have watched, the last one back in the queue there as well, where I was playing. If you remember from that one, I had pretty good luck with the items. Unfortunately, my play was just absolutely terrible. I was playing as Isaac, got home and bombs, had a shed load of bombs and keys there. I didn't really play particularly well and ended up getting through to Mom, and then she stomped all over us. So you picked Kitten here then, eh?
Yeah, a little bit less health than Isaac, but I prefer the speed and damage that he does. And hopefully I'll be able to pick some pills up along the way, because I've got the lucky foot, which means all pills will be neutral or positive. I don't have to worry about getting any negative effects.
Cool.
That's the plan anyway. Of course the disadvantage is I don't start with any bombs. Which is something I'm going to want to try and remedy as fast as I can.
No, most opposite to very early on and what happened in my run there as well then.
Or you had bombs up the wazoo when you got 99 bombs.
Landed pyro, I think, on the first or the second floor. And then I got home and bombs and some other bits and pieces as well. They're doing very canny.
So I've just taken my first hit, so there'll be no devil room for me most likely.
Aye.
Although fortunately I did pick up another heart there. I'll just clear these out and then hit that item room, see what goodies await us.
Nice.
Quite a short range on Kane as well when it first starts in terms of how far these tiers go, which means you do have to get in amongst it a bit.
Ooh, is that odd mushroom? Magic mushroom.
All stats up.
Nice. Makes your head a little bit bigger as well, doesn't it?
It makes you a bit bigger in general, obviously in a bit of a homage to Mario.
Aye.
Which does increase your hitbox a little bit, I think, but for a boost to every single stat.
Yeah, trade-off seems fairly decent.
And considering that Kane starts with a bit of a damage boost already compared to most of the other characters, it's meaning I'm doing quite meaty damage to this boss.
There was a Biznap video that I watched where he was messing around with Spider Mod, you know, where you can kind of set your own kind of conditions and your items and your start and what have you.
I've never tried it really.
I haven't tried it either, but I know that a lot of people like it. It means you can set your own challenge runs where you can limit the items that you'll get, what you'll start with, and you can mess around with a lot of different aspects of the game. I think actually Spider, the maker of the mod's helping out with Rebirth. I think he's involved with that as well, doing bits and pieces. But in any event, there was a video from Biznap where he'd set it up so every room would have the effects of Magic Mushroom on him. So about 8 rooms into it, his head was the size of the room, firing huge tears that one shot at everything, but at the same time, he filled the entire room. It was a very short run, but it was quite good fun to watch. And that's the sort of thing you can do with Spider Mod. It's quite good fun to mess around with by all accounts.
That must be quite an easy game to mod with it being based on Flash, I would imagine. There's a lot of people can code Flash. I mean, I'm not one of them, I'm another.
Yeah, I messed around a little bit when I was younger, but mainly just making daft little animations and what have you. I used to do that in our 6-1 common room, used to mess around.
Back when I was a kid, I got myself a little book and learned how to write basic code for the Commodore 64. Made myself a silly little horse racing game.
Nice. What was it, kind of pick your horse and then the run along and you bet on them all? That kind of thing.
Yeah, it was just like an image of like 4 horses going down the screen. They weren't animated or anything like that, but they just had different odds on them, and you'd place your bets, and they'd slide across the bottom of the screen.
My first ever computer system was a...
Look at how fast I'm going.
That's pretty quick. My first ever computer that I had was a BBC Micro, and I used to love that thing. My mum ostensibly had it for work, but I used to put games on it. And back in the day, you used to be able to get like BBC, like Micro magazine, and the BBC magazine had sort of like programming where you could just sit down at the computer and like type stuff out in BASIC. So I'd never really understood the programming, but I knew if I typed enough of this stuff and got it all accurate, as a young kid, it would make a game.
Yeah, they had a book in the library in high school where we were at for Commodore 64 code, where you could type the code into the machine, and it had like 8 games in it.
Aye.
It was terrible because it would take like, you know, best part of a day to write it all down.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do that. Sometimes I'd have it set away, and you'd sit down and just start typing away, but it would take hours to do it. And remember, like both my mum and dad, I think after I went to bed, would take over, so we're doing it as a family in shifts. And you'd end up with, like, I think the best one we ever did, there was a one where it was a snowball fight, and there was a great little one where you had like a castle and a catapult at either side, and you had to sort of get the angle and the power right. A very basic kind of like sort of like angles, powers kind of game, and you had to try and fully destroy the other person's castle, obviously just with like a little square brick flying across and hitting other square bricks.
Sounds a bit like multiplayer Angry Birds.
Yeah, a little bit. If anything, it was a bit of a forerunner, really. But that's what we had back in the day, and it was great fun. And it was the idea that you'd made it yourself was absolutely awesome.
Or rather, the illusion that you'd made it yourself.
Aye, this is the one. But yeah, that was really, really good fun. And you used to get some really cool little things that you could do with it. I loved the old BBC Micro. I wish I still had one.
I loved the Commodore. The Commodore was great.
My
I remember
cousin
the
had one. I never
excitement
had
when I
one.
got my first cartridge game, which was like some sort of sensible soccer forerunner.
Aye.
Or Superstar Soccer Forerunner or something like that. But yeah, the amazingness of being able to play without a load time. It was the most basic thing you could imagine. Like, you picked a difficulty level. There were no like established teams or anything. You picked
licenses or anything.
yeah,
No.
you picked the difficulty level and the shirt colours of each of the teams, and then you played. And it was an absolute nightmare because you could only see about 3 or 4 footballers on the screen at the same time.
Aye.
And there was no like radar at the bottom like there is with modern games, so each game would inevitably devolve into you just booting the ball down the pitch and hoping that one of your guys would pick it up rather than one of their guys.
Christ, on the rare occasions I play FIFA, that's kind of the tactics that I use now anyway, so, you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Never been much of a sports game guy.
I
Or a
know, you
racer,
see.
to be honest. They're the two genres I've never been able to get into, sports and racing, with the exception of, I like a bit of ice hockey games.
Yeah, I quite like a little bit of ice hockey.
Actually,
I know,
I like NFL games, even though I've got absolutely no interest in
we've
NFL
had
itself.
we've had some great times just playing like playing 2-player or something, like around at mine or around at yours, haven't we? Just messing around. We've been alright with basketball, some of the NBA games as well.
I've never been that keen on the basketball games, but I mean, it's fun to have a bit multiplayer.
Aye.
Maybe it just always frustrated me that you were always so much better at basketball games than me, and it would just be
That
me
wouldn't
getting my arse handed to us.
That wouldn't surprise us, you and your ego. But
Although
I was
I was pretty good at
games were
Pitball,
good
if you remember Pitball on the PlayStation.
That was awesome. If anybody remembers that, they'll know exactly what was great about it.
Orang.
The like the wolfy kind of looking team. They were all like different fantasy races. It was a little bit. It had the same sort of appeal for anybody who doesn't know what the hell we're talking about. It was a little bit like Speedball, but you had 2 players. But yeah, it played a little bit like Speedball, a similar kind of idea. Like you've got kind of like a goal, but it was raised off the floor. So it was somewhere between Speedball and
the
bits of
Warhammer
basketball,
universe.
Warhammer universe. There was a lot of different things going on, but it was a really cool little game. I'd picked it up like from a second-hand shop in my hometown for a couple of quid, just because it looked vaguely interesting, and there was a few people across, so it'd be good fun for a few people to play. And indeed it was. I kept a hold of that for ages. I had it all the way through all the time I had my original PlayStation.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's on the PlayStation Classics on the PlayStation.
I doubt it. It was probably like some tiny studio. I can't even remember who made it, but I don't think they were big.
There's not many games that I'd like to see on the PlayStation Classic stores, but Pitbull is one of them. Bushido Blade's another one.
Yeah, that would be
Love
awesome.
Bushido Blade.
I think you can get Bushido Blade 1 and 2 on the Japanese PSN store, but you kind of get it on sort of the regular sort of like European one. I don't think, or the British one.
Oh, I just warped straight to the boss there using the Emperor. I
Nice.
couldn't remember what it did, so I just used it. My goal's been going alright. A lot of passive items. I would have preferred to have a few more damage increase items. Spectral Tears I'm not too fussed about. But on the whole, this is going quite well.
Yeah, doing alright. Yeah, dodging. You're certainly playing better than I did.
Well, I am used to using the Xbox controller a lot more.
That's it. Although, you know, on the last video that I played in, not the one that's just been up, but like one of the first ones, or the first goal that I had in the series.
Oh,
that's
Angel
nice.
Room, nice. Let's see what I get. Scapular. What does that do? Is it more chance of getting Soul Hearts? Is it?
I do not know. Possibly. I'm not one for knowing what items do what, to be honest. There's only a few that I know, and that's only from watching the odd YouTube video.
I still have not been getting bombs. Which has caused me a bit of a problem. It means I haven't been able to hit any of the secret rooms. It's also cut out a lot of keys and potential pickups that have been blocked by rocks.
Somewhat hamstringed here a little bit. So with only the one key, I'd assume that you're going to hang fire until you can find the item room.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I mean, I'd be tempted by that by that chest in the combat room or the challenge room.
Aye.
I've got 2 now.
That's the downside of Spectral Tears, exactly what's happening there.
And there's no point of me blowing up that TNT barrel. I don't know why I even bothered.
It let me make that point though, so that's handy. Oh, yeah, playing like me there.
Nah,
Jesus.
the issue is I'm a little bit too fast for precision movement in obstacle-laden rooms like this.
The downside of some of the speed upgrades, when you get a few of them under your belt, it can make you a little bit hairy. Not half as bad. I mean, if you're flying, that's a pretty good situation to be in. Don't mind that in the slightest, because then it's just pure sort of dodgeability.
I mean, I wouldn't trade it, to be honest, because the setup I've got is pretty sweet.
Yeah, doing alright, man.
So even though I took a little bit of damage in that room, overall I'm quite happy with it where we're at. It was only soul heart damage as well, wasn't it?
I think so.
Not that I'll hit the angel room again. I think that's pretty unlikely. Oh, this is a bit of a... there's no way I can shoot that fire out quickly with the spectral tears.
No,
just
just
kill them
take
before
them
we
out.
get to it.
That was pretty good with the...
It was
horrible
that was
spider
lucky.
bastard.
That was just pure luck. I thought it was about to hit us. Let's see what we got.
Fingers crossed.
Some flies.
Yeah. That's better than nothing.
Not the best items, but far from the worst.
It's alright, we'll take them anyway.
All that matters is that we're moving forward, making progress and unlocking new items. Actually, I'm surprised considering how far you got in your last run that you didn't unlock anything.
Yeah. It is, it's a bit of a shame, but to be fair, I was playing that badly. If I was the game, I wouldn't be rewarding that kind of gameplay. You can't encourage gameplay like that, frankly. These would have been piss into a brimstone.
Oh, pop your head up. Not you.
Oh well, we'll just have a nice little relaxing time here while we wait for these guys to play whack-a-mole. We might be here sometime, folks. You might want to just fast forward a couple of minutes and see what's happening.
Way one down.
Nice. The people that did fast forward missed that. And that.
Oh, it's all gone now. Oh, did my fly absorb that or did I take the hit?
I think the fly got it.
Oh, I got stuck.
But that's certainly one way of taking them out, though. Alright, not a great room.
I'm fast enough to be able to get around these guys.
You see, I do like the AI that's programmed into them, though, where they'll do the old divide and conquer and go around a couple of alternative paths to try and catch you out. It's very clever.
It is quite clever for such
for like what's ostensibly a really simple game. I've always appreciated that. I've always thought it was just a nice little touch.
Me too, buddy. Me too. It's probably one of my most played games of the last year or so.
Yeah, well, it's like we were saying before there, it's one of those ones that if you've got a bit of time, you can just load it up and just jump in and see how you get on, really, innit?
Thank you, Halo of Flies.
Certainly doing you a favour. Okay, I'm still thinking about what we're going to be playing next. It's still never far from my mind.
If you want to do a Neo Scavenger, that's a definite possibility.
I think it'd be worth having a look at. At least sort of doing a mini series, see how it's received, and because it's a weird one. Like personally, I've watched other YouTubers do videos of it, and I quite like watching it. Though you missed a small rock on that last stream as well.
I've got no bombs.
Oh shit. Well, that's a crying shame. But yeah, it's one of them ones that I'm not sure how people would receive it, but it's a good little survival game.
I'm trying to bait this fly over here. There we go.
Oh, that's alright. Well done. And yeah, I think it's probably worth doing, even if we do it as like a mini series and see how people get on with it, and then obviously people can let me know. Be worth looking at. But
well, how long does a game tend to last you?
It can be very quick if you have really really bad luck and you bump into like quite a strong enemy. They'll kill you. Or you don't find the right items very early on and you end up freezing to death. Or
but is it like Zomboid where theoretically you could go on indefinitely? Or is there a defined end point?
Well, there's a definite story there, but yeah, not under any obligation to kind of follow that story up. And it seems as though it can branch off just in some of the things that have happened in some of my previous games when I've played it. I'm by no means an expert on it, but I'm to the point now where I can kind of get through a few days and I can show off like some of the different crafting mechanics and the survival sort of system that's in place, because it's a really cool little
and is it a fixed map or is it procedurally generated?
It's procedurally generated. There's always going to be certain things appear on the map because you need them for quests, and there's like a sort of like a bit of a faction system going on as well with other stuff. So there's always got to be certain things on the map, and some parts of it are going to be in certain areas of the map. But it's procedural, I believe. So we'll definitely look at that. But I'm anxious to get back into Zomboid because it's been a while, but I need to get practicing on it first. So at least the next clutch of videos we're doing, Zomboid will go on for more than a couple of episodes where I get killed at the end of every one of them.
Now I've been practicing pretty hard at Kerbal, so that when we do go back to Geordie Space Program, we can make it different from last time. I mean, last time Geordie Space Program was all about sort of bodging our way through with minimal skill. I want the new Geordie Space Program series, when we get around to it, to be, genuine. The kind of stuff that could actually help people playing Kerbal by giving them some tips.
I think so. And the other thing is, we're bound to still have those bodges, but at least it'll be like, well, I can see what they were trying to do.
I think we'll still follow the same sort of ethos that we have before, which is like no reverts. We take it as it comes. If we make a mistake and someone dies, we have to live with that.
The two, we need to put our heads together to actually set out some overarching aims as well to see what we're going to try and accomplish with it, and so we can, just kind of set that out fairly strongly. I think that'd be quite good to do. Like we've been saying, it was about getting to the moon, or it was about going to Minmus, or it was about being interplanetary. Sitting down and saying these are the things that we want to accomplish. But I know, like early stages, there's going to be a lot of moon and Minmus visits as well. Probably a lot of suborbital stuff. Just as we can really kind of pound the science and get ourselves up and going.
I just want to try stuff that I've been a little less comfortable with in the past. Like in my own game the other day, I built my first working plane.
Yeah.
And just had a fly to the South Pole. Probably wouldn't want to record that because it took a long time to fly there. I actually ended up forcing 4 times speed.
Yeah.
And flying at 4 times speed, which nearly made the thing fall apart. It was really pretty shaky and wobbly.
Yeah.
Helped highlight some of the initial construction flaws for when I came to do version 2. I built myself a nice little sort of vehicle, which I sort of drove around the coastline for a little bit.
Nice.
All I need now is to find a ship that can carry it and take it somewhere and have a bit drive around on maybe Mun or Minmus or something like that.
Well, it's all stuff that our faithful viewers have got to look forward to when we hit back up into Kerbal. But again, I think the thing that we both kind of talked about after doing some of our recording sessions were that it would be nice to have some gameplay where we were doing all right. Because it was one of them things that, like, it started feeling like a little bit depressing. Like,
after like 4 videos of achieving nothing.
Yeah, and it was happening across the board. It didn't matter what we were playing. Like, we're doing FTL, we're doing Kerbal, and it just, we weren't really getting much accomplished, and it felt like it was really starting to, like, kind of like grate and drain on personally on my energy a little bit, So it was nice to go to FTL and just drop the difficulty a little bit, even though it's like a bit of a wussy thing to do. Made it far more enjoyable, and let's be honest, what the hell's the point in playing games if you're not enjoying it,
I think one of the issues we probably had with... I forgot how to kill those guys. One of the issues we probably had with Kerbal is we're biting off more than we could chew, because we got to the moon, and then we're like, right, we've got to do something different now. Whereas in reality, what we should have done was...
More moon.
Got the moon a couple more times to unlock a little bit more equipment, visit a few more areas, do a few different things there. Whereas what we did is we went there once, then we immediately started looking further afield.
Yeah, that's it. We hit Minmus, and then it's what do we do next? We've got to go into planetary.
And we're trying to do that with the technology that's not really set up for it.
Aye. Not just that, I think definitely just it's down to the gameplay as well. It was down to us being better at the game and understanding the principles behind it a little bit better as well, I think.
Holy water, it's pretty crap. But it's passive, so...
Yeah, take it.
No harm, no foul.
Does it actually work as an orbital as well, or is it just kind of hanging around there, let you know that you've got it?
It follows you, and when you get hit, it drops like a pool of damage and fluid. Only works once per room, I think.
Right.
Pretty crap. It's kind of like the lemon, only it's a passive.
Right.
So
better than the lemon instantly, but on the same sort of path.
I think the lemon's probably the worst item in the game.
Aye. It's definitely up there anyway.
Excuse me. Go away!
So if we haven't cut that out of the video, you reckon that was probably...
PPI or injury or accident at work?
I find through the day when I'm doing bits and pieces at home, like admin stuff for my job, I find that happens quite a bit as well. We must get like about 4 or 5 phone calls a day.
Oh, shall I use that?
Go.
Let's use that. Puberty. Hey.
That does nothing apart from just scrunch your hair up, does it?
Yeah, it's a neutral effect one, so no negative effects, no positive effects.
But I suppose it's just taking one of the unknown pills out of the pool there, you know what it is now. Don't know what actual use that would be with it being in neutral. But, anyway. So there is a little tinted rock there.
There is, yeah, one bomb in the middle. I should get the chest and the tinted rock.
Yep. Cool.
That'll do nicely.
Oh well.
Bomb back as well.
It's not a small rock, but it'll do. Oh man, I'm yawning.
I'm pleased to know that my gameplay is so enthralling to you.
You know, we're coming off the back of our last recording there as well. I had quite a bit on at work today as well before I finished off, so...
Yeah, I did as well. As you know, very good day for me overall.
Aye, this is very true.
Ooh, that was close.
Was. You could have put down that as a pure skill mind, but, you know, we'll put it down as luck instead.
Let's have a look in the shop. There might be something worth having. You know what? I've been playing this all wrong. It doesn't help that I haven't had the bombs to get the secret room, because as Kane, you want to be hitting that shop as often as you can, because you want pills. But I've never had the bombs to get the secret room, to get the money to pay for pills in the shop.
I think the thing is, unfortunately, you've just been like a bit of a victim of circumstance, really.
The items haven't been that good, but it's still it's an alright run, and I'm feeling like reasonably confident.
Yeah, just.
I mean, if you look at how much damage I'm actually doing to the boss, it's just tickling away at him there.
But you know, that's the thing. You've got a bit of consistency. You've got a fairly stable platform. It could be worse. Could be better.
I forget what this guy's attacks are actually. Yep, there we go. I was thinking, is he the one who has the blood?
Aye.
Blood, spitty, vomity stuff.
Not like I did with the bloat. Christ. Kicked the living crap out of us in the last one.
Oh. Okay.
Oh well.
He's quite quick at doing it. So I probably don't want to get on with them all. So I fire down at angles. Because we've got the sound quite low, can't really hear any of the audio cues that accompany it. I'm a bit worried about how slow I am at reducing his health.
Yeah, I mean, you're just literally just nibbling at the guy. There's not really much you can do apart from just keep at it, really. You're here now, committed, gotta do it. Probably the longest silence I've ever had.
I'm
I suppose
concentrating
really,
hard.
Yeah, I should probably keep talking to try and at least keep like a little bit of energy for the viewers there as well. Not really much to say.
They're all enraptured by this as well, I'm sure.
Just hanging on tenterhooks.
I'm not bad at this game, am I? If I do say so myself.
Hey, you do better than me. It's not my place to criticise. I think the other thing is as well, it's just having this new electric fag. I'm just loving it. I can't stop playing with it.
Just keep baiting him into doing that. There we go. Job's a good one. Stem cells, a bit more health. And on to the next one. Where are we now? Depths 2, so this is going to be Mom.
This is true. Yeah, sorry I was nodding. I probably should have made some sort of like verbal affirmation, but yeah, it will be. Alright, so this is where I got to. Obviously I died on the Mom fight. I think you're in a better state. You've taken way less damage than I did, although I think I had probably slightly better luck with the items. Although you're not doing too bad on the items front, really.
No, I've certainly had worse runs, and I've got away with things alright. I'm about 10 minutes ahead of you, which I think is largely down to your trip to the arcade.
Yeah, I've really spanned it. That was worth doing though as well, because I came out with a lot of good little bits and pieces.
Probably came out with way more than you needed, but it's better to have more than... I've just lost 2 bloody hits in...
Oh, come on, man.
Seconds.
I could have done that in 2 seconds when I was playing.
It's deja vu.
Yeah. Well, it can happen from time to time. So, it'll be great when Rebirth comes out as well. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on it, even though it's ostensibly going to be a very similar game. Have you seen much about Rebirth, or been following any of the news, any of the dev blogs, anything from Emma McMillan?
I wouldn't say I've been following it a huge amount, but I've looked up some sort of trailer footage. I saw the live action trailer, I've seen some gameplay footage. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think there's a couple of interesting talking points on it. I think one is, from some of the bits that I've seen, there's going to be larger rooms. And I'm not sure what I think of the idea of having larger rooms. I think part of the charm of the Binding of Isaac is these small, quite intricate little rooms, you know. And I'm thinking there's other games out there that are similar that came out after Binding of Isaac, which did the kind of larger room format. I think Our Darker Purpose is one of them. And I don't know, it's just, I'm not sure if it'll like upset the balance. I'm sure they're doing a lot of work to make sure that it all kind of fits in and feels right, you know, but It's an interesting one. I mean, what would your thoughts be about like having much larger rooms in Isaac?
I don't know. I mean, it remains to be seen how it will follow the transition. I like the small rooms because it really does emphasise the sort of bullet helliness of it and the need to dodge well.
That sense of claustrophobia is there, and it all just kind of fits in quite nice.
But again, as you say, I'm sure there has been thought gone into it. There'll have been play testing going in. I say play testing, they would probably be playing the hell out of it himself, I'm sure.
Aye.
But for the hours that I've had in Binding of Isaac, for the money that I spent on it, I'm more than happy to take a punt on his next project.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to throw a few more quid his way. Because to be honest, I've got way more out of this than I deserve for the money that I spent on it.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago it was on a Steam sale. It would have cost you 89 pence to pick it up. And can you imagine you pay 89 pence for the Binding of Isaac, and then like 700 hours later, you're like, right, I mean, that's kind of paid for itself, hasn't it?
I'm not that far, but I've got in excess of 100 hours on the game.
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, I think, what does it usually retail at? It's £6, I think.
I think I paid about 5 or 6 quid
Yeah,
for it. Well, I think I might have got it in a sale as well. You know, I might have got the. No, I didn't. I got Wrath of the Lamb in a sale, but I bought the base game by itself.
Right.
So I got the base game for about 6 quid, and then Wrath of the Lamb I didn't pay much for at all.
Aye, maybe a quid or two sort of thing.
And again, I'd sort of reached the point. It came on sale, and I thought, you know what, I've got like 30, 40 hours into the game, or however much I had at the time. Certainly worth throwing an extra couple of quid to increase the content.
Hmm.
And then the first time I played, I got the Labyrinth Curse and immediately regretted it. No, it's all good, the Wrath of the Lamb content.
Yeah.
It's just
really good. I mean, for the price, the amount of stuff that it actually added into the game was incredible. Really,
yeah, new bosses, new room layouts. You get
loads of new items, the different curses, new characters as well.
You get the alternate levels as well.
Aye,
slightly different levels with slightly different setups.
Taking Harlequin baby.
Well, it was there. There's no point not taking it.
So I'm looking forward to that. Be interesting to see when it comes out. I think it's a question on a lot of people's lips as well. It'd be interesting to know how many people that watch my videos actually play Binding of Isaac as well.
I just used telepills and it took us to Mom.
Well, you're going to have to fight it. No point crying over spilt milk, as the saying goes. Just do better than I did. It's the only advice I can give you, really. It's the only advice I can give you for a lot of games, Jesus. So, understandably, I'm sure you'll be quite quiet here as you're doing your thing.
Yeah, Mom's always the one with a lot of running around.
Yeah.
I'm bloody running away from the Harlequin, baby! It's because I'm sort of using my peripheral vision to focus on where the enemies are, because I can't possibly focus on everything at any one time. So I didn't quite realise what the Harlequin baby was.
The spread from the Harlequin baby is actually coming in quite useful here as well. And you're doing a good amount of damage to her. You've got her well down.
I'm
still got a healthy amount of hearts as well. I think you've got this one in the bag, dude.
Let's hope so. Eh?
Aye, there we go.
And the party hat.
Party boy, aye. A little bit of cash. Right, next one.
Onwards and upwards. 28 minutes in.
Not bad at all.
Alright.
That was a nice Northumbrian burr you give off there as well. I'm liking it. I can't roll my R's, which always upsets us.
You can't roll your R's?
Can't roll my R's. I just sound as though I'm choking on my own tongue.
I'd like to hear that. I'm sure everyone else would.
No. Well,
say it. Right.
No, that's not happening.
You've just disappointed a lot of people. Me included.
Well, learn to live with it.
You're supposed to be an entertainer. A broadcaster.
I never said I was entertaining. I would classify myself as gobshite first. Who can sometimes, on occasion, in the right frame of mind, be mildly amusing. But gobshite first and foremost. Speak to me, missus. She'll tell you the same.
What, that you're a gobshite?
Yeah. If anything, I'd like to be a professional gobshite. I think I'd be quite good at that.
I'm not sure there's many places employ gobshites these days. Again,
outside of Westminster.
Oh,
satire. Satire, that's what you want. Talk about entertainment. Alright, so doing alright. Levels turned very woomy. It is called Utero, of course.
Again, this is a Wrath of the Lamb change because it's the alternative version of the Womb.
Yep.
Which means it's got slightly tougher enemies in it, but the potential for some greater rewards. Oh yes, of course I've got... Hey.
What?
I've got Spectral Tears, I completely forgot. It's because they've turned red. I'm like trying to worm my way around the obstacles in the middle of the room, but I can fire through them.
Yeah, if anything, those obstacles were doing you quite a good favour there. Giving you a nice little bit of cover.
Oh, that's this guy.
With your orbitals, do they do damage if you... Oh, well, that would do it as well, I suppose. I was going to say, if you had your orbitals, you could have just walked fairly close to them and just let them smack them. I'm not sure if they would do it or not. With them being like firing ones rather than... Oh, it's close. Heart, 2 pence. You can do it. Do the old diagonal. There we go. Ah!
Again, I'm too fast. The speed is too much.
You just need a good run up and just trust your instincts when you go for the old diagonal. It's the one thing...
I should have done the diagonal from the other side. That's where I went wrong.
It's the one thing that I'm proud that I taught you in the Binding of Isaac was how to do the old diagonal through the spikes.
Which I never realised you could do.
Yeah, and I purely picked that up from watching Northern Lion, to be honest. I would never figured that out by myself. Cool.
Oh, I hate these guys.
These are my absolute bane when I'm playing. It's what I hate about the Mom's Heart fight. You get like a couple of them to start with as well. They're always completely deckers.
They are bar stewards. And I don't mean they tend bar.
Fortunately not. I think that's a very old term now. You never hear anybody referred to as bar stewards, do you? You never see job adverts.
No, generally just barman, bar staff.
Yep.
Probably because it sounds a bit like bastards.
There's a good chance of that, I suppose.
Oh, you know, my sister found this YouTube channel and she let my my nephew watch it and was very upset to find me swear on it.
It's a crying shame. Probably should make a note to say we're fairly blue.
We're not that bad.
Well,
there's a lot worse than us.
There is, but we're pretty bad. We're pretty blue.
I'm feeling blue. Just thinking of you.
I think the thing is, it's kind of like with a lot of YouTubers that I can think of, when they're gonna swear, it's kind of like sort of signposted, or it's kind of like they're really kind of like, I don't know, you kind of can feel the wind up. Whereas unfortunately with us, it comes out. It's just one of them things. It's like a 1-inch punch.
I like to think we're quite natural though.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's probably something that doesn't work in my favour that we're not contrived. We're completely conversational. I think, to be honest, our videos would probably be much more entertaining if we planned bits out and it was more scripted, and I'm sure there's a lot of YouTubers do that very successfully, where they plan bits out, or they'll think about things before they say them.
I'll tell you what my problem with that is. Not with them, but for us. I like to meet up with you on a recording day and just play some games and chill out. I don't want this YouTube channel to be anything that takes a significant amount of effort, because then it'll stop being fun and it'll start feeling like a chore.
Yeah.
And it'll be, we've got to do some Binding Isaac today.
That's it. And let's be honest, we don't do this to become big and famous and popular. We do this because it's what we do anyway and we enjoy it. And if anything, like just recording it and seeing a few people respond to that's been pretty sweet. That's predominantly why we do it. If it felt like work or if it felt like a chore, we'd sack it off, frankly.
I mean, we've done a lot better for squad and subset games than we have for ourselves.
Yeah, totally.
Considering the people that we know who've watched the videos who've bought the games.
Aye, this is incredibly true.
I think there's 3 people who bought... right.
Yeah, FTL, we know there's a few people who've bought FTL after watching some of the videos for that.
Hang on. My Orbital Baby's changed.
Yeah, I thought that as well, because it was Harlequin, wasn't it?
Yeah, now it's Ghost Baby.
Maybe something you've picked up's done that, which is a very unusual synergy I haven't seen before.
Synergy or bug, I'm almost tempted to say.
I think with the Binding of Isaac, because of the various different ways you can break the game, it's just classed as some sort of synergy rather than a bug by nowadays.
That's a shame, because Harlequin was more useful with
Yeah,
the spread that it did.
Aye.
Speed up again, wow. Right, what have I got?
Now,
Loki. Right, so what Loki's got? He's got the sideways blasty attack.
Christ. I
Just
suppose
go
the
for it,
orbitals
innit?
are in a fairly good position there to sort of deflect some of his shots. This is when you've got to be a little bit concerned.
Well, luckily Loki doesn't have a great deal of health, so because I've got quite fast speed of tears and a reasonable amount of damage.
Yeah, and just focusing on one, taking them out seems to do the trick fairly nicely. That was quite a smooth little boss fight. Ooh. Ooh.
Devil Room. I've never had a Devil Room and an Angel Room in that order. Right, so what? I've got Guppy's cat, and there's that Whore of Babylon.
Dead cat and... Oh, is it not Spirit of the Night? I think it's Spirit of the Night, you know.
Which one's Spirit of the Night? Is that the fly one?
Yeah.
That could be useful.
I would take it anyway, to be honest. Usually if it's...
Guppy's cat is Heart for Soul Heart, isn't it?
Aye.
I'll have that.
You gonna use it?
I don't see why not, mate. Oh, hang on. No, Guppy's cat takes you down to 1 heart and gives you 9 lives. Wish I hadn't taken that.
At the very... Take the other.
Yeah, might as well.
Oh, well, you've got Spirit of the Night now. For the
Well, because I've only got 1 heart, I'm going to be permanently cursed.
Yeah.
It was a huge mistake, though. I seriously regret that. That's going to be the end of my run, I think.
Yeah, it's going to take something particularly special.
It's Guppy's head that lets you change hearts for soul hearts.
There was something in the back of my head that said it was daft. I just couldn't quite articulate it. This is going to become very fucking difficult, as you'll see.
Yeah.
Well, that's a crying shame.
Let's go this way.
However, we've unlocked Eve now, as useful as that is. You know, it's still all progress, I suppose.
Oh, you unlocked quite a few things there because of the items I picked up, so it's worth it on that front at least.
Bird, other bits. I quite like Dead Bird, even though it's kind of useless. Just got a soft spot for it. I think it's just the way that it looks.
Death. That could come in handy. I've got 25.
You're going to use them for a bit? Yeah, more of that. Lots more of that.
Whoa!
Oh, that's not good. Oh, lucky.
And I didn't blow up the machine either. Yeah, I may as well use it for a while because if it gives me some more soul hearts, which it doesn't. Just entertain yourself, everybody.
Yeah. I'm still just...
Ewoks screwed the game up.
Yep, kind of just reeling after that as well. It's a shame.
Rookie mistake.
It's easily done,
Really
though.
bad game.
But again, it's worth pointing out, we don't spend a huge amount of time playing the Binding of Isaac as much as we enjoy playing it when we're knocking around together. It's not something that we really do. I know you tend to more than I do, but neither of us are like pro players that know the game inside and out and the different effects. Well, that was somewhat of an upset.
Yeah, it's lost me soul heart. At least these guys aren't too bad.
Yeah, just careful. Flat penny.
Woo. No,
I'll want the red patch.
I want the red patch, exactly.
And your fingers are glancing over that pad like a man possessed. Oh, dangerous. You avoid them way better than I do. It's like a guaranteed hit every time one of them fires.
Just run, never stop.
Aye.
And then once the fire, change direction. I don't know if that helps, but
the old zigzag patterns. Okay, well, fairly confident with all these extra lives that you've got now that you'll get them on, but I think it's just going to be a horrible, inexorable demise as we watch you go in there and go toe to
fight
toe
and
with
die.
Yeah.
7 times? Well, 8 times. Sorry, 7 times. I've used 2 lives.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of bombs. We don't have an active. We don't have any particular way where we can just come out and smack her and do some serious damage. So
I've got death.
Even so, it's still going to be a very tall order. Oh, dear.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hell of a room, this. Nice.
Don't say it yet.
Cool.
God, he took some killing.
Yeah, just got to kind of make a beeline straight for Mom here, really.
Mom's heart.
Mom's heart, aye.
Lots of little hearts to reflect the battle ahead.
Suppose, aye, that's quite poetic. Now, how are you going to do this?
Slowly and carefully.
There we go.
Ooh! Thank God for that.
Just make the agony all.
Oh, well, there it goes.
All the more sweeter.
Whoa! You wouldn't have seen that, but when my fridge resets itself on its cycle, my screen goes blank for a split second.
That happened when we were playing FTL, I believe, and people again wouldn't have picked up on it. But we did talk about that for a while. But every time it happens, it's weird. I keep feeling as though you've like had a power cut or something.
I think I need a better cable for the connection. So I go and have a go. Why the hell not? Let's see what
Haven't
we
got a
can do.
choice really. Needs doing.
Actually, I haven't fought Mom's Heart in a long time. So I'm normally on It Lives. Is Mom's Heart exactly the same? Does it drop enemies?
I think so. Keeps like retreating and drops enemies, and you've got to take the enemies out until it drops back, until it gets down onto low health, and then stays, and then just fires out loads of shots.
At least I'm doing the damage.
It's true.
But Mom's Heart drops boss type enemies. Oh, I'd rather have a boss type enemy. Well, hang on. First things first, I'm going to use death to get rid of them horrible things.
Alright. Cool. Did a tiny amount of damage to Mom's Heart as well, but at least it gets rid of them, which is a good bonus. Oh man, it would be absolutely spectacular if you pulled this out the bag, like. But it's going to take a serious amount of skill and good luck. Okay, so far so good. Ooh, bit dangerous.
Ooh.
Oof, Christ. Oh, good hit with the bomb. Liking it. Well, mate, you're doing alright here.
No, don't shush. Keep everyone entertained while I'm trying to do this.
Alright, okay. Come on, I think everybody will be rooting for you. Everybody will be rooting for this to happen.
Oh god, I hate these guys.
No, not when they're close as well. Oh, they're the ones that I thought shut out. So Mom's just going to stay there and fire like a nutter. Oh, mate, come on. Go on. Well done, man.
That's how we do it.
That's it. Judas. Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
What's in the box?
And so with that, thank you very much for watching. We'll let this play out. But that was sterling work, mate. Absolutely incredible.
I have to say I'm pleased with myself.
I'm inspired by a performance there. So the next time I get to go, I'm going to have to see if I can pull it out the bag.
Thank you very much for watching the GonzoEwok channel. Please watch us again in future. If you like what you saw today, check out some of our other videos. There are plenty of them. Geordie Space Program, Zomboid, a few more Biden of Isaac's Babes. Leave a comment if you'd like us to get in touch, because we tend to try and reply to our comment as much as possible. We are GonzoEwok on Facebook, and we are at GonzoEwok on Twitter.
Yep, and it's all a lovely tea party, so please stop by. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.